Hello, Mr. Riggs here, and today I've got two roughed out walnut boxes. A man who is getting a walnut tree cut down for his house was kind enough to let me have most of the walnut tree, and these boxes are going to go to his children, as well as he's getting a big plate and bowl and spatula set, but we're just going to focus on the boxes today, and we're going to finish turn these, so you'll see how that's done. Alright, we should be ready. We'll do the lid. As you can hear, it's raining now. Now, we're going to cut the inside of the lid, and I can do that with the square end scraper, but I want both these boxes to be pretty much the same, so I'm going to drill it out with a Forstner bit like this. That way everything else is going to be pretty much the same. Before I do that, let me true up this surface. Go. So the drill won't be starting on an uneven surface. I think this is the bigger lid of the two. It's going to give me a few problems. So let's speed this up, and I'll take out now. That'll be less that the drill has to go through. I'm going to bring it down to 540 is about right. I'm going to go just a little slower. 510. .440. There we go, that's better. Sounds much better. It's just boring instead of vibrating and chattering. So take it nice and slow. So that line is my internal depth. I think that looks fine. So I'm going to get rid of the tailstock. I'm going to clean up the bottom of that hole. With the square end scraper and the bowl scraper. Even if a Forstner bit's brand new and they say that they leave a clean bottomed hole, they don't leave them clean enough for the inside of a box. That's for sure. Now I'll go ahead and sand that. I'm not going to change this geometry. This still needs to be a straight, parallel sided. And just smooth that little transition right there. But this still has to be turned on the outside. I should have. I just used this end. It's only a tiny bit lower, but that's okay. Now let's get this round. Just using a low peel and cut, skew flat on the rest. Now it's round. I'm going to get it kind of even, more straight. I know I want there to be a little chamfer there. Just soften that with 240. When we turn it around, see there's just a little bit there that wasn't taken off. Here's a little bit of bark that's left. Inside looks good, feels good. Move on to the base. Now, we're going to get the outside of the base trued up, and then we're going to make a flange that's going to go inside the lid. want to make sure I've got rid of that bark. I haven't. So I need to go a little deeper. Good. Alright, now we're going to fit this to a flange. It's going to be tapered. The flange is going to be tapered, and it'll be, let's see, about there, a little less than that. Ought to look good. So you can see I'm creating a taper. That doesn't fit yet, doesn't fit over any part of it. You see that little burnish mark right there? That's where the lid fits. But we just want to get that approximate at the moment. So now I can hollow out the inside. If you do the flange all the way first and you get a nice suction fit on the lid and then you hollow out the box, that'll change the internal stresses, and then the box fit won't be as good anymore. I'm going down little steps I made in there. Just step over, step over, step. They won't take too big of a bite. Yes, good. I think I need to get a little nut off the middle. Close. There we go. Okay. And now, before we sand it, I will see where the bottom is. There's the bottom. Now we need to sand, finish the inside of the lid, so we don't have to come back to that. Now the sanding is done. We're going to fine fit the lid. and it fits right there. So now I want to take the rest of this taper back here and get it real close to that. This 1-inch skew is a bit big. I'll move over to the 1/2 inch. Now, what I should do now, see, this is close. It fits good up to here, and then it's tight. So now it fits tight. That's a good thing, because I can now turn this without anything else in the way, and I can still get it off. There it is. Because when I took down this diameter to get rid of this bark, that still left this here. So let's put this on. Just before I do that, let me do this transition. I know I want a little chamfer there. It'll be easier to do without the lid jammed on there. I think that looks right. I need to mark where that is. There we go. Making sure that feels like one line, not bump. That's good. So I have to recut that transition on that one, but that's okay. Now, I need to know where the base is again. Just a little bit more than 1/2 inch dome. Good. Get a nice edge on the skew. Now I'm going to use this short corner. I'm going to use it kind of like a negative rake scraper, but feels really good. I'm looking at it from the side. I don't want the dome to be too pronounced. Should be good to sand. So the lid's good to go. Now we'll fine fit the lid. I need to look back at it real quick. So it fits good up till about there, so I only really need to work on this back section. I might be able to get away with sanding it, but if you're going to do that, I do warn you, that is a really easy way to ruin a flange, is by trying to fit it by sanding it. Well, it's almost perfect to right there. I might be able to get away with sanding that little bit. And this is really where you, ooh. There we go. That's really where you make it or break it, is with the lid fitment, because you can have a pretty box, but if it has a bad fitting lid, or it always jams, or it doesn't fit well, that looks good. All right. Now we can finish the bottom. Well, I'm holding it like that. It's going to be with the gouge anyway. I'm being real gentle with my cuts because I don't want to lever this off the chuck or snap it right off. A little better. want to see how that looks and feels. So I like that. There's still a little bit of a dome on it. I'll flatten it off, decorate the bottom, then we can sand. Now this is a day later after I finished both of those boxes. And this one, even though it turned out real nice, it's sticking just a little bit on the bottom. I think there's just a little bit of wood movement. Just the tiniest bit. So I'm going to put it back here on the lathe and I'm going to sand just a little bit. With 240. This could also be done with the skew, but it's such a small amount. Yes. Just a little more. I can feel it. Perfect. I don't feel it catching anywhere. Good. But it still has that nice suction fit. Yep. Yep, that's exactly what I want. So here we are one more day later, and both the boxes are finished now, and they have a nice suction fit lid. They turned out real nice. I've already got them signed on the bottom. They're good to go. I'm very happy with how these turned out.